Welcome back to a DIY Christmas. This week we're going to show you how we built these candlestick holders using our Slagle coffee table leg. This is a super easy project that is perfect for the holidays. Stay tuned for some tips and tricks and we'll be right back. Before we get started on our candlesticks, let's take a look at what all you'll need. Now we're just using these little clay saucers from a hobby store. These are often used for plants, small little pots, but we're going to repurpose them for this. We're going to use one as the base, laying on its face, and then we're going to use the other as the top that would actually hold our candle in it. Now for the main part of our candlesticks, we're using the Slagle coffee table leg. If you're interested in learning more about these and picking up a set for yourself, click the link up here. What we're going to do is cut the main block off of this leg. One stick will be slightly taller, and we're going to use this part, and then the other will cut a little shorter just to give it a nice presentation in our space. Now to attach our legs to our clay bases, we're going to use a quick setting epoxy adhesive. You don't have to use epoxy, you could use a super glue or another type of adhesive, whatever your preference is. Before we attach our legs to our base, let's go ahead and jump over to our miter saw and cut these down. So for one of our candlesticks, I'm going to cut just behind this larger ball on the end of our leg, and the other one I'm going to cut just a little bit shorter just so they don't look the exact same. As you can see, I've added just a little scrap block here that is keeping my leg level, so that way I'm not going to get an off-angle cut. So let's go ahead and cut these and then we'll get ready to attach them with our epoxy. Okay, so now that we have our legs cut at two different sizes, we can go ahead and mix up our epoxy adhesive. Like I said, you don't have to use an epoxy. You could use just a regular super glue, but I think this is gonna hold a little bit better, and this is an instant setting. I'm gonna make sure that I wear a pair of gloves just to avoid getting this stuff on my hands. Now we're just gonna push this onto a scrap piece of wood. Once we have enough, we're just gonna take a scrap stick and just mix that together really nice. All right, now once we have that mixed, we can go ahead and attach to our bottom. So I'm gonna make these two our bottom. I'm just gonna take a little bit of epoxy and add it to the bottom of my clay base. And you don't need a ton. This stuff does a good job with just a little amount of product. So no need to go overboard, but just a nice solid amount. And once we have that, we can set each leg there. Okay, so our epoxy has set and our candlesticks are ready for some paint. Now you can add whatever color you like, but we're gonna add just a nice white just to give it that clean farmhouse look. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of A DIY Christmas. I really love how easily these candlesticks came together and just how versatile they can be in a space. As I mentioned, we use the Slagle coffee table leg, and I'll leave a link below to that, as well as some other options for your project. Be sure to tune in next week for the last episode of A DIY Christmas. Until then, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment, and we'll see you next time.